Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Who did you meet today? Today's Friday. Welcome to Fabulous Friday. Well, I wanted to wrap up the week with something positive for you. Yeah, it's a turbulent marketplace, right? As an entrepreneur, you're out there slugging it in. I'm watching for your comments over here. But, but who did you meet this week? And what did you learn from them? I had the opportunity to meet Richard Brook in a Zoom session yesterday, thanks to my friend and mentor, Ken Walls. And, Richard's someone who at age 28 built a direct sales team of 35,000. And he talked about the consistency of a small number of daily habits that made that possible and how he taught that. So that was something I learned from him. And I was thinking many things. One being, oh man, no wonder I'm doing the every 2 days consistency with some things that should be really need to be done daily. Perhaps you're doing that. Unlikely, right? You're totally on top of it. But just saying, we can all always improve it. It was great to hear that, incredible success was built on, small, consistent daily habits. Nothing dramatic, nothing that really any of us couldn't do. Certainly things you could do that I can do if we focus on that and we get the right kind of mentorship and guidance, right? I was also thinking about how the heck did I get the opportunity to meet this guy, to meet someone like Richard? And at the same time, someone like Ken, Ken Walls, King of Livestream, great guy to know. If you don't know him, check him out, kenwalls.com or Google King of Livestream. So going, how did I meet Ken? I met Ken through a very amazing person, Glenn Morshower. You may have seen him on the TV show 24. I'm gonna share some things I don't normally share because of how it might sound. And just bear with me because I'll explain why I'm mentioning this. I don't mean that as a name drop. It's just I had the opportunity to get to be friends with someone who is just a phenomenal human being. I live in Los Angeles, so I cross paths with people from Hollywood from time to time. And I don't really click with the Hollywood set, as you might say. If you know me for a while, you're probably laughing right now. So just enjoy the laughter and keep coming along for the ride. So Glenn, who I got to know because at 2 o'clock in the morning one night while I was checking email at an event that he'd spoken at, I sat on the floor in the lobby next to his chair as he was holding court with a group of young adults, and they're probably early 20s. And I had been sitting on a couch a little bit of ways away from him and heard what he was saying. And I liked it. I liked it. It resonated with me. It reminded me of stuff that I heard my dad talk about, of people that I grew up around that I respected. And he's going, I want to hear this. So I went over and I sat down and, he's talking and there's kind of a break in the flow of conversation. He looked over and he goes, hey, how you doing, buddy? I was going, good. I go, appreciate you spending time with everybody. And he goes, what you doing? And I go, I was just checking some emails. And I go, if you don't mind, I enjoyed hearing what you were saying. And I just wanted to sit here and do the emails real quick and then listen in if I could. And he's like, yeah, sure. Go ahead. And it's been more than several years ago now. Great person. So how did I get to meet Glenn? Well, I met Glenn through a good friend and mentor of mine, Craig Duswalt. Now, Craig Duswalt is best known for his, now his Rock Your Life brand, which was an evolution from Rockstar Marketing. The whole rock thing for him started because he toured with Guns N' Roses after touring with Air Supply. That's kind of incredible, isn't it? I got to know Craig and his family, and they're awesome people. His parents, wonderful folks, and it's always good to be around them. But here's this chain of people. One led to the next, and they're just phenomenal associations to have. I'm grateful for knowing them, from learning from them, but also I just met Richard Brooks. So Richard, not going to claim to be friends yet, uh, but deep friendships have developed and are developing with these individuals. So I benefit greatly for that, and then in ways that I can take to other people and hopefully have an impact with them. So that's how they, one life touches another. How did I meet Craig Duswalt? Gentleman named Maurice Domino. Phenomenal public speaker, trainer, mentor. He is great at crafting stage presentations when you're on stage presenting to an audience and have an opportunity to sell, how to put that all together in a way that honors the audience and puts in a respectful way how, because you've probably heard this, right? People do sales pitches and it's just like, oh man, they should be at a used car lot doing something skeezy because that's just how it feels, right? After you heard Maurice, no, he shows how to do it right. So that, because you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, right? So you have a duty, you've got something of value that helps the community. You have a duty to take that out and sell it to people that can benefit from it, to trade in value, right? So Maurice is great at that. How to do that, it's just fantastic, effective way of selling in a way that is ethical, honors the audience, honors what you're doing, and really presents the message. How did I meet Maurice Domino? Again, look him up online. If you don't know Maurice, you need to know him. And see, each one of these individuals is someone you really should know. You'll benefit from knowing them because they're fun people to be around. They're decent people to hang out with. They're the kind of people you'll want to go out for dinner with and spend several hours just laughing and sharing stories and learning from each other and just enjoying their company. So how did I meet Maurice? Well, I met Maurice thanks to a friend of mine, Cheryl, that I met through Toastmasters. Right? She's an accredited speaker with Toastmasters. And it's phenomenal. Learn from her a lot. Well, I had the opportunity to. How did I meet her? Well, I was referred to her by a mentor of mine when I joined Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, the club that I joined in 2010 had assigned a mentor to all of the new members. The people who are brand new to Toastmasters assigned a mentor. So that's someone that would help guide you through the Toastmasters experience. And he asked me, he goes, why are you here? What do you, and he doesn't want his name broadcast. So still, you know who you are. And if you're watching this again, thank you. So he helped me navigate to get what I wanted. Because as a professional speaker, I joined Toastmasters a little bit different path than most people have to Toastmasters. A lot of new people in Toastmasters are very uncomfortable doing public speaking. I'd already done thousands of presentations across years with different companies, had made mistakes that would horrify you and most other people that have an opportunity to be on stage presenting to a crowd. Those are stories for another time. But because of him, I met Cheryl, who also at the same time that I met Cheryl, I met Eldana Lewis Fernandez. The Eldana Lewis Fernandez, another awesome individual that you need to know. Just like Dennis Nurmela. Dennis, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining from China. How are you? Hope things are well. It's always great to have Dennis on Wolf's Watch or anytime. He is the only person that I've ever run a 5K with. And that's the only time I've ever run a 5K. And that was a brilliant experience. It was fantastic. I still remember that, Dennis. And I appreciate the friendship that we've had over the years. Oh, yeah, because it's morning time in China. Very much so. Kind of early in the morning, too. So glad you're here, Dennis. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you for being part of the conversation for so many years. We've known each other for quite a while now. See, and I met Dennis through Maurice Domino. That's how Dennis and I got to know each other. He's a very accomplished entrepreneur. He's been in China for several years teaching as part of what he had wanted to do with his long-term plan, having been very, very successful in business. So, great people to get to know. In that chain, they're all what we teach our kids, right? Birds of a feather. Well, who did you meet this week? What do you learn from them? And I wanted to share this chain of people, how I got to know them, just because it's just such a great reminder. Only real friends run a 5K. That's right, brother. You have got that. I just have such great memories from that. I was so glad I did it. And we crossed the finish line together too. That was a golden moment. I so appreciated the opportunity to do that. But coming back to the chain of friends, also Maurice Domino also led me to Dennis Nurmela. Cheryl led me to Maurice, led me to Eldana Lewis Fernandez, a phenomenal person, someone that you need to know. great at negotiation. Started Baskets and Beads, which is a way that she is helping entrepreneurial women from Africa sell goods in the United States. In the profit that they make in sheer dollars for us, we kind of go, well, there's not a lot of money in that, but it is phenomenal money. It's life-changing money for the women in Africa that are making these crafts. So what a great, Eldana took her negotiation experience, her business experience, her heart for people, and turned it into something that's having an impact half a world away. It's phenomenal, to get to know people like this. And how is that? It's because I stuck my hand out and said, hello, how you doing? At a Toastmasters meeting. I got to Toastmasters through a client of mine a number of years ago, Angela Sayers, awesome accountant. If you're in the Los Angeles area and you need an accountant, highly recommend her. Yeah, so it's just this think of that long chain from here to Richard Brooke. This week, so I learned from Richard, about the as I was saying before, we had a great talk. We did a whole bunch of questions and answers. We had a great talk with him for over an hour and a half. One of the things I remember most was breaking it down and going, look, breaking it down to the ridiculous, as I heard someone say. What was the daily habit? It was quite simple, quite doable, that led him to being very, very successful in business. Now, this week I missed an opportunity to be involved with a Q&A session with Don Cromwell from Air Supply. Imagine that. Now I think about that. I'm a kid from Ohio, right? I live in Los Angeles. I'm not from Los Angeles, but I get to meet someone like Don Cromwell from Air Supply, whose music I enjoyed, when they were really rocking it. They're still around. They're still making great music. That I remember, years and years ago, listening to their music. Never in a million years thought that I would meet someone like Craig Duswalt, who toured with the band for 7, 8 years. And you have to get to know Craig, if nothing else, just to hear the story of how that happened for him. Right? One of the things I learned from Craig, he's like, do your best, because you never know who's watching. Because he was doing his best in a certain situation at a venue that Air Supply played at. He got an offer to go work for them and tour with them. Imagine that. But you got to hear him tell that story, the whole story, because the way he tells it is masterful. It is entertaining as heck. And it's just, you get to share that sense of wonder that he had of, oh my gosh, how can this happen? Who are we? Right? Because he has some perspective. Even though he has spent a lot of time around really big names in the rock and roll industry, he has some perspective on life. And it's just like, wow, and that's part of the reason that he has gotten access and made friends with people like Don, because he had that perspective. It's also fun to be around. It gave him an opportunity to be him, and it opened doors, and he got to be friends with the people that he found on the other side of those doors. So Craig had this happened. I missed this opportunity to do the Q&A with Don Cromwell because I wasn't paying attention to my email, which I usually do, but I got over focused on something else that we're developing a new webinar we're going to be rolling out, and hear more about that at a different time. But I was over focused on that and missed the heads up of going, hey, this is what we're doing at this weekly meeting that we have online, and missed it. Which, Craig, thanks for setting that up. Don, thanks for doing the Q&A. And you know what? The cool thing is I got to talk with both of them face to face a couple of weeks ago when Craig and his family were in Southern California, and Don came out with his incredible gal, and wanted to say hello to Craig and his family and his incredible wife, Natasha, and we all got to spend some time together and had a few laughs. And that night was what started the train of thought that led to this broadcast. I was thinking, how the heck did I get the opportunity to meet someone like this? Because Don Cromwell is another person who, big rock star, yet wonderful individual to hang out over dinner with and talk and share stories and just go, I've been thinking about and get insights from. Super personable individual. And I don't, now again, I mentioned earlier, I'm not trying to name drop. I'm just trying to illustrate how it gives me goosebumps. I got goosebumps on my arms right now because I think about the people that I've gotten to meet and never would have anticipated that in a million years. To think about it, it's just me. You likely have that occasionally, right? You get that sense of, how did I ever get the opportunity to spend time with this person and learn from this person, or sit down and break bread and have a great evening. And you know, some of those are names you probably recognize. The people that I just mentioned are those folks I've had the opportunity to meet and get to know. And it astounds me because I'm going, I'm not anybody special. I'm just a kid from Ohio, right? Doing what's in front of me, one step at a time. But doing that, because I put my hand out at times, that put me on a path to be led to Angela, who led me to my mentor in Toastmasters, who led me to Cheryl, who led me to Maurice, who led me to Glenn, who led me to Ken, who led me to Richard Brook, who we had a great conversation with last night. Led me to Maurice, who led me to Craig Duswant. See, Maurice Domino, this is one of the reasons you need to get to know him. Super individual. So is his gal, Heidi Lee, a famed acclaimed international women's apparel designer. Both of them are incredible people that you want to know. And in knowing them, you'll learn a lot, have a lot of fun, and meet other incredible, amazing people as well. Right? Because I met Craig Duswalt through Maurice. It's just unbelievable how that chain goes. Craig introduced me to Don Cromwell. And, like I mentioned, fortunately, we had a chance to chat a couple of weeks ago. And it's just, if you put your hand out and say, hi, how you doing? Especially if it's someone that seems like maybe they're not having a great day, you never know where that's going to lead. You never know what impact it's going to have on your life. I can guarantee you one thing. It'll have a completely amazing impact on your life. That's been my experience. And I hand that to you. You can have that experience. All you got to do is just put your hand out to people and say, hey, how you doing? And strike up a conversation. Some won't go anywhere. Some will become good friends. Some will be passing acquaintances that just made both your days better because you stopped and chatted with each other for a few minutes, made a connection, acknowledged each other as human beings. And some of them will have that kind of path like I experienced. Going from Angela to a mentor, to Cheryl, to Maurice, to Craig, to Don Cromwell, or to Glenn Morshower, Ken Walls, and then to Richard Brook. That's your path in life, to meet amazing people that will impact your life, and you'll come away with the ability to impact other people's lives and get more out of your life as well, if you want. So that's all. Thanks for letting me get on my soapbox a bit. Have a fabulous Friday. We'll be talking with you soon. Thanks for being part of the Wolfswap's conversation. Dennis, again, thank you so much, my brother, for saying hello from China. My gosh, it is early morning in China. Have an awesome day, my friend. And you, as you're watching this, have an awesome rest of the day. Have an awesome weekend. Drop your comments in. Who did you meet today? What did you learn from them? I really, really want to hear from you on that. Thanks for being part of the Wolfswap's conversation. I'm Wolf, and I will see you on the trail.